Good morning, everybody. This is Blue Falcon TCG. Finally coming at you with my personal 5 tips for new players. New players doesn't really necessarily mean like new to locals. It could be new to regionals, new to being in the competitive scene. Just some things that I would like to throw out there that, in my experience, that I feel like people just haven't really um really done. Okay, so one example would be, I know you may have like a really awesome locals, and you can have just some really genuine people there. But if you go to your first regional and you have that same mindset where you're gonna leave your deck box on the table and walk away, that deck might not be yours no more. So I recommend just keeping a good eye on all your stuff, staying close to friends, having a backpack. That is a big thing. I see so many new players going to regionals or even like some bigger locals that they haven't gone to before with no backpack, just carrying a deck box and mat or binder too, just a handful of things. And sometimes they go missing. There's not a lot of honest people in the world or even in card games, even though it is a game for kids. So, big thing is just pay attention to your stuff, focus on, having fun and whatnot. But like I said, have a backpack, throw that shit on the front, a fanny pack, things like that, just to keep your stuff secure. Number two, probably one of my biggest tips next to, taking care of your stuff, right? Understand the card game. Like, I understand that when you're new, it's a little difficult, but don't be toxic about it. Like, be willing to learn. There is all too many times where I've played into a new player, already giving them a lot of freebies because they're new and I want to help build the community, but they're getting upset with the fact that they don't know what a card does. I'm a big example in Drytron, um, just cheating out ritual monsters, with the Exceed. That sometimes with new players, that makes them upset because it's too overpowered, right? Or even in Digimon, when people don't understand the order of precedence, like the when attacking, how that affects through security, or it happens before the blocking phase, things like that. Like understanding or being coachable to help understand the different aspects of the card game is super beneficial, especially if you wanna keep playing, and it helps with the community a lot. Going from a player base locally where we had like around 10, 15 to sitting around 30, and we occasionally had some really, really green players, but our locals is straight cracked. And it was nice to see some new fresh faces among like all the sweat lords and all the guys that are typically in the top cut and everything. But um, if you want to ever compete at that level or just have more fun at locals in a competitive environment like that, just recommend just understanding the most fundamentally basic aspects of each card game, whether it's Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Dragon Ball, soon to be, yeah, One Piece, which is a phenomenal card game. Excuse me, I'm a little stuffy today. But yeah, just number two would honestly be understanding the basics of the card game. That would help with the game flow. It'll help overall like community health, and don't stay toxic about it. Like if you don't do something right and you get corrected, awesome. Understand from it. Move forward. Okay. Now number three. This is more towards the newer players. Don't be an ass. Don't be a jerk to the new players that don't know anything. Like, we want the card game. We love the card games that we play to last a long time, right? So one way to do that is to ensure community health by helping new players. I'm not saying give them the win. I'm not saying uh, let them take their whole playback. People want to learn. They're at locals to play and have fun, but you don't need to be a straight doo-doo head and OTK in 2 seconds and dip out. If they have questions and you can clearly answer and help them, go ahead and throw some advice to that guy or gal. Being nice is free. And like I said, the whole goal is to keep our community healthy and growing, so that way our card game lasts longer, than it already has. I don't see it going anywhere, especially Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon Magic. But don't be afraid to talk to the new players and be like, oh, have you thought about doing this? Or hey man, like you messed up here, in that situation. You should probably do something like this, or you misplayed in this spot. Remember, let me just go ahead and explain how this effect works. You don't have to. You can be a doo-doo head and like not make friends with people in the community. Sometimes I do that. I'm guilty of it too. But as I've gotten older and I've gotten better and started playing more card games, I've realized that a lot of people want to get into the games, but they're really like cautious about, oh, I'm not good. I don't want to go to locals. And that's a big kicker. So there's always a lot of pockets where there's just people that just play at home, but they want to go play. They want to go to regionals. They want to go to locals. But they're like timid. They're afraid. They don't want to get like judged or destroyed their favorite card game. But that's just something that we all have to move past as a community and kind of help uplift those new players. Whatever. Number 3. I mean, that was kind of like 2, but 3 would be like coming back to the fundamentals. And Yu-Gi-Oh, understanding your phases, and in Digimon, understanding like the effects, like when attacking, when digivolving, on play, in that aspect. The rulebook is there. There's plenty of YouTube videos to actually break down those, and then same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh phases. One thing that I can pull from my experiences, there was a kid at one of my locals. He's about 10, 12 years old, playing some Raid Raptor shenanigans, straight like sleeping some people, right? But didn't understand that like player priority. When in the phases he can activate things, he thought he always had to wait for his opponent on his opponent's turn to activate card effects, even though it's a quick effect. So he would have won. Honestly, would have won a lot more games. So just that's one basic, just coming back to the fundamentals, just understanding like what would be best for the card game. Like, oh, maybe I should learn some fundamentals, like some chain links. That way I don't get upset and slow the game state down. People might be more willing to like make it teachable, or like, have a conversation with a newer player, especially if they're willing to learn and they actually have the fundamentals down. And you're not just that dude with a rubber band deck box. No sleeves, coming in with your structure deck Yugi original, coming in trying to clap them cheeks with Dark Magician. It's not the anime, buddy. And we've had a couple of those too, but it took a long time for them to be accepted in the community because they were so adamant on only playing classic stuff. But that's cool. We got formats for that. I should bust out just Star Trek Yugi just to go play. Definitely won't be in no rubber band, but it'll be in some sleeves. Yeah, I don't know how many I'm thinking I'm on 4, but realistically, there isn't like too many tips I recommend for new players other than like fundamentals. Don't be toxic. Don't be that toxic new player. That's one of the main things. Like a lot of us just go play cards to have fun. That's our hobby. We make money playing it. We just enjoy playing cards. Some of us get salty. Some people get salty, but like it's just supposed to be a good time. Whether you're new or you're fucking a national placer, just go have fun. Honestly, that's probably my main points that I want to go over with this video. Probably go over some deck building here in the future for the next episode. This is something I want to try to do once a week. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this is something y'all like. What can I do better? I know it's super cringy. I'm also a no-name YouTuber, content creator, what have you. This is just something I enjoy for fun. This is my hobby as well. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all have a good rest of your day.